Well, this ought to be a fun video. How's it going, guys? RealRadman here, back at it again with another video. I haven't done that intro in a while. I've been thinking about maybe stop doing that intro, but I don't know. Leave it down in the comments below if you want me to do that. But as you can tell by the title, Danica Patrick will not be at Storehouse Racing for 2018. So with my recent history on Danica Patrick, including a rant video that was made a while back now. A lot of you people haven't actually seen it, but the Danica Patrick rant, I've been labeled sometimes as a Danica Patrick hater. I don't hate her. I support her a lot. I want her to do well. The reason why I guess pick her out more than normal is because I expect more out of her. With the ride she's in, running 25th is not good enough. So that's why I would criticize her. Whenever you criticize her, people tend to jump on you for criticizing the only female driver in NASCAR, and it becomes a whole other issue entirely. Well, now that she's out of the ride for 2018, she's out of Storehouse Racing, she most likely could and probably will get a ride. Maybe not in the Cup Series, but she'll get a ride somewhere. She's just too marketable to not get a ride. There has to be a sponsor out there that will want the only successful female driver in NASCAR to drive their car. And she's not terrible. It's just that she isn't good. So she can still be in a car. I would like to see her go to the Xfinity Series and actually compete in a car that can win and see if she can win. That's what I want to see. Now, basically, what's going on with the teams before I get to Danica Patrick, the 10 car is going to be free for now. It's not... We don't know who's going to be in it, but we know that Smithfield, the sponsor for the 43 car that was with Richard Petty Motorsports, that sponsor is going to the 10 car and Storehouse Racing. So whoever's going to be in that 10 car will have to have the relationship with Smithfield. So a lot of people are thinking Eric Almirola would be going to the 10. I don't think it's that clear cut. I don't know who's going to the 10, honestly. Not my opinion. I think it could be Casey Kane. If Smithfield... Casey Kane dropped a very weird tweet, to say the least. I'll show it to you. It was a little bit ironic, and I don't know, it just didn't seem normal. So I don't know. I think Casey Kane would be a good pick. I don't think it's the best pick, but we know that kind of sponsors run the sport now, so whoever gets that ride is going to have the sponsor. So whoever is with Smithfield, I don't know. Now, Smithfield's biggest problem with Richard Petty Motorsports, I'll show you the quote. This is pretty hard. We are extremely disappointed that Richard Petty Motorsports, RPM, has chosen to disbarge Smithfield, its lead sponsor, after 5 years and tens of millions of dollars of unwavering financial support. Despite years of subpar performance on the track, RPM's claims of a handshake deal to extend our sponsorship are unequivocally and patently false. Smithfield's numerous discussions with RPM over the past several months focused exclusively around one issue: RPM's inability to deliver on the track and the organization's repeated failure to present a plan to address this lack of competitiveness. Smithfield is a performance-driven company, and we demand performance from the people we do business with. For that reason, and that reason only, Smithfield decided not to renew its contract with RPM when it expires at the end of this year. It is very unfortunate and disheartening that RPM has chosen to disseminate false statements regarding our communications to NASCAR fans who have supported wholeheartedly with more than $100 million in investment in the sport over the last several years. Now, that's no holding back. They were very clear on why they're leaving RPM. Some people criticizing them, but if you look at the statement, it's true. Richard Petty Motorsports is not competitive enough. And if you're a sponsor that's giving so much money to the team, then you come out and say it. Now, was it harsh? Yeah, it was definitely harsh. And, you know, I guess in times like today's world, you could be more sensitive, and things are taken a little bit more harshly nowadays. You can't really say as much in terms of negative sayings, but it's true. I mean, what else you want Smithfield to say? They could take the high road and be like, we're splitting with RPM, but then it's like the sponsor is a bad guy, because then the sponsor is leaving the sport or leaving the team or whatever. They're luckily not leaving the sport, but they're leaving the team, and they won't give a reason why, and no one knows. They're being completely honest here and just like, yo, the team's not competitive enough. If I'm running Smithfield and I'm sponsoring a car that's not competitive enough, I might say the same thing. So I have no problem with what Smithfield said here. They did definitely go the harsh way and like and put it in your face, but it's true. So who's going to be in the 43 car? Richard Petty Motorsports is already looking at Bubba Wallace. That's pretty much confirmed. So I'll be very happy if Bubba Wallace can get a ride. Obviously, it's not a great ride, but he would be working for the King, so that's pretty awesome, not going to lie. So hopefully Bubba Wallace can get that ride. It all depends on sponsorships. So if he could get sponsorship for that car, he'll be in that ride, hopefully. And that should be that for the 43 car. So the 10 car is still up in the air. It could be Casey Kane. It could be Eric Almirola, because Eric Almirola could just move over to Smithfield. Eric Almirola could somehow stay at the 43. We don't know really what's going to go on with Eric. I guess if you had to put a lead front runner, he would be the lead for the 10 car. And then after that, I would put Casey Kane as number 2. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. So back to Danica Patrick. Basically, this is what I have to say about her. She is the greatest female driver in the history of NASCAR. That is great. And that is what she's done for the sport, bringing new fans, bringing young women, children that want to be race car drivers, inspiring people. I know Natalie Decker is I think she's in the ARCA series, or I'm not sure exactly where she is, but she's been doing well, probably inspired by Danica. So she did great. Like I really like Danica. If I could see her in a great ride, competing for top 10s, top 5s, wins, championships, I will wholeheartedly support her. She'd probably be in like my top 3 driver list. I really like her. She's awesome. She can also kick my ass because she is very fit. There is an issue where it seems like she's been protected for so long. She has had this ride for a long time, and she's done really nothing with it. I wanted to see her go to the Xfinity Series before she got to the 10 car. I wanted to see her try to compete for a championship there, or just try to win some races before she got to the Cup Series. But because she was so marketable at the time, a couple years ago, she went straight to the Cup Series. She had all the sponsorships. She was bringing in loads of money for the team, and it just made sense. But she didn't compete on the track. Now she keeps that ride. She keeps that ride. She keeps that ride. I just want to make sure that as a sport and as a society that we know, we should not make her different than anyone else. We are a white, male-dominated sport. We have a black driver right now that cannot get a ride in any of the 3 series. He's literally fighting to get a ride in the Truck Series or the Xfinity Series or the Cup Series. He's a good driver. He's shown he's a good driver, and he can't get a ride in any of the 3 series. That's a black driver. There's no black drivers in NASCAR right now, okay? That's just as rare as a female driver. If you want to go down this political road, I guess. The female driver has a great ride for 5+ years. She doesn't lose the ride. There's a little bit of a hypocrisy there, you know? We can't just feel bad for Danica. She has been given a lot of privileges to her. She's had a fantastic ride, great sponsors that really won't pull out, and GoDaddy pulled out, but she's had so much given to her, and she's never won a race in the sport. I'm not saying it's bad that that's happened, but we can't feel bad for her. There comes a point where, listen, you didn't compete, and there are other people that deserve that ride. There are other people, not white, male dominated. If you want to keep the diversity in the sport, there is a black driver. There's no black drivers in the sport. There's a black driver on the side that deserves that ride, and he can't get a ride in not just the Cup Series. He can't get a ride in the Xfinity Series. He can't get a ride in the Truck Series, and he's marketable, and for some reason sponsors won't get him. Danica Patrick has had the privilege of getting the sponsors to be with her because she's a very marketable driver, first female driver, nice person, great personality, all that stuff. But there comes a time where it's time to go. It's if you get a ride for 2018, great job. If it's in the Cup Series, great job. But I really hope for Danica that she goes to the Xfinity Series and she tries to learn, or just learn how to win. Just try to win a couple races, and not just run like I don't know. I wouldn't be happy with running 20th every week, especially in a car that shouldn't be running 20th every week. I don't know. I just wouldn't feel like that. This topic gets so controversial because, you know, she has become somewhat untouchable. Like, you can't criticize her because she's done so much for the sport, and I agree with that. She's opened up barriers for women drivers, you know, to come into the sport and compete. And there are more female drivers in auto sports or in motor racing overall, in all the different kind of auto racing. There's more of them because of Danica Patrick. She was the first, like, well-renowned female driver, and she'll go down in history as, you know, being probably a legend in that case. Not a legend in terms of stats and stuff, but a legend in terms of breaking down the barriers, which is good. But like I said, there comes a time where it's time to go. You have to move on. You haven't performed. I'll probably get criticized for making this video, but like, we can't feel bad for her. She's had all the opportunities. There are so many drivers that I can say have more talent than her in a race car that don't get the opportunities. And that's just how it is. Why does she get the opportunities? Well, you want me to say it? That's just how the world kind of works. It's a sensitive topic to talk about. I'm kind of glad that after this season, I won't really have to talk about it. If she does get another cup ride, great for her. Like, but I don't think she's going to get a ride to the quality that she had. So even if she got into a backmarker team, we wouldn't be expecting her to run better than what the car has. The problem was she was in a car that should have ran better than what she was running at. That was the problem. That's why she got criticized. And I don't think that'll be happening anymore. So after this season, it'll kind of be just that. Guys, leave your comments down below. What do you think of this whole situation? Who do you think's going to get in the 10? Who do you think's going to get in the 43? Where's Matt Kenseth going to go? I don't know where he's going to be going out of all this. And if you want to comment about the Danica Patrick situation and get involved in it, go ahead. Like I said, I'm not a Danica Patrick hater. I've been labeled as one sometimes. I am not. I love Danica. I want her to do well. It's just we have to open our eyes here as a sport and just realize, like, enough is enough. We've done this for a long time. You're not competing. You're not performing. Let's go. Time to go. I hope Danica does well the last 10 races of this season. I still want her to compete. Hopefully, like, I know the mile and a half she can still be pretty good, so I want her to compete. Maybe she could get a top 10 somewhere and stuff like that. And I'll be the first one to root her on if she's running well. So hopefully that happens. Guys, if you like the video, make sure to like button. Comment down below. Let me know your opinion. And I'll see you guys later. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Peace out.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I try, my love, she keeps me warm.